in project of Metro Riyadh.
All right. And anyone else who is new today, please come forward and introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Efrajuddin from
Good afternoon too.
yeah, I'm from Saudi Arabia,
All right.
working with Royal Commission in Al Ula.
All right.
Yeah, so this is a new initiative from the Saudi government regarding the Vision 2030, regarding
Uh,
the getting the uh, tourism. So there is a lots of construction is going on under the Royal Commission of Al Ula to promote the tourism in that region. So right now I'm working with them as a safety consultant.
all right. Uh, Nice to meet you. You are the newcomers, so I hope you will enjoy the class. So we have already discussed some lectures. I will tell you later the recap of that. So today, the topic of today's class is the air pollution control, and it's the fourth lecture of the course. And for the newcomers, we have so far covered the three lectures. And the first lecture is the was the introduction to environmental engineering. The second was the environmental chemistry, and the third one was the water and the wastewater treatment. And now, today we are going to discuss the air pollution control. I have already shared the material in the WhatsApp group, so you can get the slides from there. And if you have any ambiguity regarding these three lectures, please do ask me, or I will arrange a separate class for you people who are newcomer and who are interested to ask the queries. And apart from that, I will help you so that you can cope with the other class and you can participate well. Okay, moving towards the today class, we have total three subtopics in the air pollution control. Uh, we have the one second. Yeah. So we have sources and effects of the air pollution. We cover that what are the main sources of the air pollution and what are the effects of those type of the air pollutants on the environment and on the human beings as well. And second subtopic is the air quality monitoring and the modeling. So how can we monitor the air quality? You will learn in this class, and how can you model the air quality so that we can improve our air quality. So, and the third one is what type of techniques and what type of remediation you will do for controlling the air pollution. So what are the appropriate measures and the mitigation measures you have to adopt for controlling the air pollutions, and you can maintain the air quality according to the standards and the permissible limits. All right, so this is today's agenda. And now moving towards the topics, that what is air pollution. So starting with what is air pollution. Air pollution is the release of the pollutants such as gases, particles, biological molecules into the air that is harmful to the human health and the environment. So basically, air pollution is directly affecting the environment, and we human beings and the other biological systems like animals and the plants, they obviously they respire in that environment, and they ultimately become the target of that pollutions, and they human beings faces the serious adverse environmental effects. So air pollution, so the question is, from where do the air pollutants come? So these can anybody from the class who can tell me that where does the air pollution comes from?
It's come from the industry. It's come from the running these vehicles and the equipments and the machinery around us. It's
Yes,
coming from
absolutely.
the recycle, or you can say the treatment we are doing for the chemicals and all that we are disposing in the air through injecting with some chemical to reduce their impact on the environment. So these are the other some sources from where the air pollution comes, coming from the water where they dispose, the waste byproducts. So these are the some sources of the air.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you have the very clear idea about the where does the air pollution comes from? So basically, the air pollution comes from the factories and the automobiles, and they collectively contributed to the air pollution. There are some different sources. So moving towards the types of the sources, we have basically four type of the sources. The first one is the natural. Like nature also contributed towards the air pollutions. That how, for example, the volcanic eruptions and the wildfires, lightning, and the forests, they are contributing to the air pollution. Okay, now the question is how the forests are contributed towards the air pollution, because the wildfires, when they catch the fires, they automatically contributed towards the air pollutions. Have you remembered the fire of the Australia, which was occurred in 2019? It was very serious environmental disaster, and almost 7 billion animals died in that disaster. So nature is one of the phenomena which contribute towards the air pollution. So second is the areas like the livestock and the fertilizers and the agriculture practices, which are becoming the cause of the air pollution. And I will explain each and every source in detail. So I'm just giving you the rough idea that what type of the sources we have for the air pollution. So the third one are the stationary sources like industries, factories, power plants, and the sewage systems. These are the some stationary sources which are contributing to the pollutant emissions. And the fourth one are the mobile sources like automobiles, cars, trucks, buses, and the motorcycles. Their smoke basically automatically release into the air and ultimately become the cause of the air pollution. So what are the four types of the sources? Mobile sources, stationary sources, area sources, and the natural sources. So you people now have get a clear idea that the mobile sources are the cars, buses, planes, trucks, and the trains, etc. And in stationary sources, we have the power plants, oil refineries, industries, and the other factories. And in the area sources, we have the agriculture areas, cities, and the wood burning fireplaces. And in natural resources, we have the volcanic eruption, wind blown dust, and the wildfires. So moving towards the next, basically, whatever the source of that, whatever the source of the air pollution, it automatically transfer because air is the medium. So by blowing the air, people mostly faces the air pollution from one place to another. So you people have an idea that the epidemic diseases is also occur due to this movement of the air. So basically, pollution generated from the humans or from the natural sources is often created at one place but transported through the air. So sometimes different chemical reactions in the atmosphere change the composition of the atmosphere. And so basically, I create a zone in which there is harder to breathe and the people catch the diseases as well. So this type of the pollutants, not only in localized ways, they can, because they can travel and they spread from one place to another place as well. So there are type of the pollutants as well. So there are the two types of the pollutants. So when we talk about the air pollution, we must have an idea that what type of the air pollutants are carcinogenic or non-carcinogenic, or what type of the air pollutants are there which collectively contributed towards the air pollutions. So we have the primary pollutants and we have the secondary pollutants. So the primary pollutants basically are those pollutants that directly affect the air quality, and they has a direct effect on the air quality. So these are the some primary pollutants. So for instance, the sulfur dioxide emitted from the factories is basically a primary pollutant. And you people have an idea that sulfur dioxide is a gas which contributed towards the acid rain, so which is very damaging, and which basically not only affect the agricultures, or not only affect the crops but also affect the infrastructure of the cities. So when we talk about the secondary pollutants, the pollutants formed by the intermingling of these primary pollutants are known as the secondary pollutants. So the smoke from the intermingling. So once again, I have to accept the request of joining lecture. Okay. So the pollutants formed by the intermingling of these primary pollutants and the chemical reactions between these primary pollutants become the cause for the production of these secondary pollutants. For instance, we have the smoke formed by the intermingling of the smoke and the fog which is basically a secondary pollutant. So you people must have an idea that smoke reduce the visibility, and not only it affect our health but also creates the traffic disasters. They smoke is responsible for creating the accidents on the roads as well. So this the air is basically a very important factor, as a very important component of the environment. So as a whole, the environment uh, affected from the air pollutions. So basically, we have the four type of the very hazardous air pollutants. So the first one is the nitrogen oxide, which is very dangerous. Both nitrogen oxide and the oxides of the sulfur, both these contributed for the acid rain and become the cause for the acid rain. And the next we have the carbon monoxide and the carbon dioxide. So these type of the gases have the potential to harm not only the human but also the other creatures and the environment as well. So basically, I have already discussed that what is the World Health Organization. So World Health Organization basically reports the 6 major air pollutants, and in which we have the ground level ozone, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxide, and lead. Lead is basically a heavy metal, and it has carcinogenic effect on the human beings, and it is basically has the ability to alter the genetic makeup as well. So it is a it is very much a need of the today's that uh, we have to invent some sort of the mitigation measures, that we can uh, invent new ways so that we can treat our air, our soil, and the water, and we can free these type of the abiotic factors and the abiotic factors from the heavy metal pollution like mercury, arsenic, nickel, cadmium, and the copper. These are all the heavy metal which are very dangerous to the human health. So here is the flow chart in which you people will get a clear idea about what are the sources of the primary and the secondary pollutants, what are the mode of the release. The mode of the release is basically that the pollutants can be released indoor, or the pollutants can be released in the outer door environment. So basically cooking, the smoking, and the air condition, basically the aerosols and the chlorofluorocarbons are emitted from the air conditions. So these gases become the gas for the air pollution. So these are termed as the air pollutants. So volatile organic carbons is another pollutant who contribute to the air pollution. So when we talk about the outdoor pollution, so definitely we have the industrial processes, transportation, we have the particulate matter, carbon monoxide, NOx, SOx, and the VOx. We can say that VOx are the volatile organic carbon. So what is the chemical composition and the size? So basically the particulate matter has a very minute size, and it is very dangerous because when we inhale the air, that particulate matter enter into our lungs, enter into our respiratory tracts, and it affect on our alveoli. Alveoli is basically the basic unit of the lungs. So basically the lungs diseases and the lungs cancer and the respiratory tract diseases, these are all the result of inhalation of the particulate matter, because its size is very minute and it has the ability to penetrate our biological system and our organs as well. So when we talk about the chemical composition and size, we have gaseous type of the pollutant in the air pollution. So it has more potential to travel and to penetrate our skin. So basically they are miscible with the air in the vapor form, so it can automatically affect our skin as well. So again, we have so far learned what are the air pollutants, and so I'm going to now discuss what are the basic causes of this air pollution and what become the cause of producing such type of the pollutants which are very dangerous for the health. So the first one is burning of the fossil fuels. So basically, the burning of the coal, oil, and gas is basically these three termed as the fossil fuels. The combustion of the fossil fuels emit a large number of the sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, which is released by the incomplete combustion of the fossil fuels, also results in the air pollution. So it is one of the major source of the air pollutions, which is burning of the fossil fuels. And the second one is the automobiles. So basically, the gases emitted from the vehicles such as the jeeps, trucks, cars, buses, these type of the all the which are not hybrid gases, are the which does not use the gasoline. These are all type of the vehicles which create the air pollution. And the major gas which has been released from these automobiles are the greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, you people, I have already discussed in previous classes the what are the greenhouse gases. That methane gas, carbon monoxide, and the carbon dioxide. These three are termed as the greenhouse gases, and which automatically contributed towards the global warming and raise the temperature of the environment. So air pollution affects us in a long-term manner, and it's not affecting a particular area, it's affecting the entire globe. So the global warming is one of the very serious concern nowadays, and which is the result of the air pollution. Okay. So the next one is the agriculture practice. This is the third cause of the air pollution, in which spray of the pesticides and the insecticides basically, and the spray of the fertilizers as well. Basically, these type of the spray for also dangerous for the soil health and for the crops as well, because these crops are consumed by us. So automatically they have a very dangerous effect by eating them. But apart from that, it also contributed towards the air pollution. So some agriculture practices also become the major source of the air pollution. So moving towards the fourth, it's the factories and the industry, which is, I already mentioned that it is a stationary source, and it continuously emit the air pollutants. So the factories and the industries are the main source of carbon monoxide. Organic compounds are those compounds which have a long chains of the carbons, like benzene, phenols, and such type of polyaromatic hydrocarbons. These type of the compounds are emitted from the industries. So I would like to mention that chromium, which is another heavy metal, which has been released by the wastewater of the leather industry. So again, the industry became the cause of the such type of the pollutants, and these type of the pollutants emit into the air. And people, for instance, we have a certain type of technologies to control these, like different industries have some sort of the permits that they have a specific amount of the emissions per month or the per week. But we have to be very careful about the monitoring and about the check and balance process. So the fourth source of the air pollution is the local and the stationary source, which is the industries and the factories. The fifth one is the domestic source, like the household cleaning products and the paint containing the toxic chemicals that are released into the air. And the smell from the newly painted wall is basically contributed towards the air pollution. And also these type of the chimneys, which have no special sort of the which does not have any in basically in rural areas, there are these people still use the wood as a source for the cooking purposes. So the smoke which has been generated from burning of that wood is basically very dangerous, not only for the environment but for that people who are living in that house. So again, the domestic source is also another source which is contributing towards the air pollution. The next one is the mining activities. So mining is basically not only affecting the air pollution but also affecting the labor force as well. So you must have heard that statement that the people who are working in mining industries, they are very much vulnerable to catch the lung diseases and the respiratory diseases. So because they have a very minute sort of the particulate matter in the air, they are breathing all the time. So due to the long span of exposure to that type of the air pollutants, they get and they have a number of you can say that multiple chances to get the disease as compared to a normal individual who does not work in any mining industry. So the mineral below the earth are extracted using large piece of the equipments in the mining process. So the dust and the chemical released during the process not only pollute the air, but also deteriorates the health of the worker and the people living in that area. The nearby areas and the residential area, the people who are living in any mining site, they are also become the victim of that air pollution. But again, the workers which are they have some sort of the hours, like 8 to 10 hours they have to work in that mining industry. So these are vulnerable people. So again, these are the six major source of the air pollution. So now I am going to discuss what are the effects of the air pollution. So the first is the diseases. Yes, of course, the air pollution become the cause of the different diseases like respiratory diseases, heart diseases, and the lungs diseases as well. Especially the children who are living in nearby the polluted area are more prone to the pneumonia and asthma as well. And the many people die every year due to the direct or the indirect effect of the air pollution. As you can see, that 29% of the deaths are caused from the lungs cancer. So it is the air pollution is known as the invisible killer. And that a number of the people died every year just because of the air pollution. And we have the 24% of the death from the strokes, because the percentage of these toxic pollutants in the blood becomes very high, and the people and the human being which are at that condition suddenly collapse. So the percentage of those type of the deaths is the 24%, and the 25% of the deaths are occur due to the heart diseases, and 43% of the deaths are coming from the lungs diseases, because the lungs cancer and the lung diseases are become, because lungs are the major organ which are contact with the air. So the lungs are prone to the air pollution. So the first effects are is the diseases which we are, okay, so 1 second. Okay. So the second is that according to the World Health Organization, almost 7 million people die each year from the air pollution, and more than 4,000 people died in just a few months due to the severe smoke event that occurred in London in 1952. It's a London smoke 1952. It's a very famous event, and people have took the certain type of the protocols and the agreements between the United Nations and the countries which are producing the greenhouse gases. Like they took the measures, like they started some sort of policies like Kyoto protocol. Such type of protocols has been followed after that London smoke. So it is a very famous event. So again, the ground level ozone causes the fatigue in the muscles and muscles fatigue and in the lungs contraction and making it difficult to breathe. And again, the exposure to the high ozone level can cause the sore throats, the infections of the throat, and the cough, lung inflammation, and the permanent lungs diseases. So you people now have clear idea about the seriousness of the air pollution. So again, air pollution have the short-term effects and the long-term effects as well. So the short-term effects, we have cough, we have the difficulty in breathing, we have the wheezing, we have the irritation to the eyes, nose, and throats, we have headache, dizziness, and fatigue. So these are all termed as the short-term effects due to the air pollution on any human being. Okay, moving towards the long terms. So in long-term exposure, we have the respiratory disease like asthma, emphysema, cardiovascular diseases, harm to the liver, spleen, and blood, nervous system damage, cancer, birth defects, and the death. So these are some long time effects which are due to the air pollution. So again, the other effects which have the global warming, due to the emission of the greenhouse gases, there is an imbalance in the gaseous composition of the air. And you know, the carbon dioxide contributed to enhance, to raise the temperature of the environment. So this led to an increase in the temperature of the earth, and this increment in the earth temperature is known as global warming. Okay, 1 second. Okay, second, this basically is result of the melting of the glacier and had an increase in the sea level, and the many areas are submerged under the water. So the melting of the glacier is also become the cause of the global warming, apart from the this greenhouse gases. But again, the air pollution become the major source of the global warming. Next, we have the acid rain and the burning of the fossil fuel. And I have already mentioned that the sulfur oxides of the sulfur and oxides of the nitrogen, these two gases are the responsible for the acid rain. Okay, so students, at the end of the lecture, I will ask a few questions about the today's lecture. So I am expecting the answers from you. So please be careful. So the burning of the fossil fuel releases the harmful gases such as nitrogen oxide and the sulfur oxides into the air, and the water droplet combined with these pollutants become the acidic and fall as an acid rain, which damages human, animal, plant life, and also the infrastructure. Once I have a chance to read a report which was on the Taj Mahal of the India, that the marble of the Taj Mahal has been damaged due to the acid rain. It has been reported. So if you have time, so you must go and check the images on the internet. So what are the effects of the air pollution to the infrastructure as well? Moving towards the next, the global warming and the greenhouse gases are again very interlinked to each other. And again, the global warming is basically the increment in the average air temperature of the earth and the greenhouse effect. So you people get a difference between what is the greenhouse effect. So heat from the sun is getting trapped inside the glass of the greenhouse. The greenhouse gas is trapped in the environment and heat up the air. And again, the more carbon monoxide released into the atmosphere, then automatically not only the carbon monoxide or the carbon dioxide, we have the methane as well, which has been trapped into the environment and increase the temperature of the earth. Again, we have the ozone layer depletion. Okay, so the causes of the ozone layer depletion is basically the chlorofluorocarbons and the aerosols, which have been released by the air conditions, which has been released from the refrigerators. But nowadays, technology have become very advanced. So we have hybrid and we have CFC's freeze type of the CFC free refrigerated, which and the CFC free is air conditioner as well. And again, the aerosols comes from the perfumes and the body sprays. So these aerosols are the very damaging to the ozone layer. So again, the depletion of the ozone layer is a effect of the air pollution, because the ozone layer prevent us the direct exposure to the sun, and it protect us from certain type of the skin diseases. Thus again, there is a hole has been created in the ozone layer just because of this air pollution. So I have covered the first subtopic, which are the causes and what are the main causes and what are the effects of the air pollution. So far we have covered the first subtopic, and I'm moving towards the second subtopic, which is the air quality monitoring and modeling. So you people have idea about what are the sources of air pollution, what are the major air pollutants, and what are the major causes and effects of the air pollution. Now, what we have to do to resolve this issue, what we have to do to took the certain measures. So for that, you have to monitor, you have to first have an idea about to up to what level the air quality has been degraded by the pollution. So for that, you have to monitor the air quality, and second, you have to develop certain type of models so that you can solve the issue. So for monitoring, we have certain instrument I will discuss in the later slides. So first of all, identification of the problem is the first step. You have to monitor the inventories. For instance, you are working in an industry as an environmental engineering, and you have been assigned a task that you have to solve the air quality issue, and that industry is facing a lot of the threats from the government that this typical industry is contributing to the air pollution. So you are the person who have to responsible for solving that problem. So first of all, you have to identify the problem. So for that, you have to check the previous data that at what level the pollution has or the air pollutants have been emitted from that particular industry. You will check some sort of Excel sheets. So you will check the inventories, and you will check the certain type of the systems which control these type of the pollutants and which treat it. So the first step is the you have to monitor. Okay, okay, you have to identify the problem, and the second is you have to control the situation. You have to control the emission. So you will ask to your supervisor that we must have to limit the emission. So the enforcement of the emission limits and the regulation and the policies should be implemented on that industry. Okay, the third one, you have to formulate the new policies. Like you have to present some type of the models. So you have to create a scenario and evaluate it. But again, you will present such type of the model which was according to the budget of that industry. Again, you have to be very careful about the budget. You have some sort of limitation like finance. Your finances, you have you have a very confined budget, and in which you have to perform very well. So you have to do a cost benefit analysis. So again, the air quality, what things we have to be considered while formulation of any air quality monitor. You have to. So I will start from the emissions. So you have to check the quantity of the emissions, that per hour or the per month, how much emissions, yeah, how much the air pollutants emitted from that particular industry. Second, you have to check the source parameters. What are the sources of that pollutant? And third, you have to check the receptor location, that either the living organisms or the people who are living in that area are affected from that, who are the receptor of that air pollutions. And again, you have to check the meteorology of that particular area, and you have to check the initial concentration of the pollutants, and you have to check the final concentration of the pollutants. And again, you will have the total concentration of the pollutants. Then you have to check the air chemistry, the what is the composition of the air in that local area, and you have to invent a removal process. So for formulation, before formulating any air quality model, you have to keep these things in your mind. So what type of the model we have for solving the air pollution? We have the meteorological models, we have the chemical models, receptors model, source dispersion model, and the emission model. And again, we have the temporal and the special emission rates. For all these models, you have to be very careful about the temporal and the special emission rates, about the topography of that area, because one person is working in Qatar and the second one is working in Saudi Arabia. So you have to be careful about the topography of that area. And again, you have to check the path, that how these pollutants transform from one place to another. And again, the pattern of transportation of a pollutant must be noted by an environmental engineer. And again, the equilibrium between the particles and gases. And this last one is the vertical mixing. So with that, if you want to adopt any model, so if you, for instance, you are going to pick the source dispersion model. Like there is a source, and the air pollutants comes out from that source at a constant level. So you will dilute that source, you will dilute that pollutions, so that you can control the air quality. So again, here is a model, which is a model of the whole industry, in which the base airline quality has been monitored, and the meteorological data gives us the hourly data, and the basically the what type of the gases have been emitted, and the windrows diagram. This is basically a model which has been created by the core industry, by the environmental engineer, and they already gives the representation of that model to their industry. And you can see that they identify the coal washing activities. So they identify and they estimated the emission rates. They, and then after that, they basically presented to their industries that what type of air quality modeling we have to adopt for solving the issue. So we have this model, which is basically have been used for a whole industry. So again, if you are a person who is responsible for maintaining the air quality, you have to keep these things in your mind, that you have to estimate the data monthly or the weekly. You have to identify the main sources of the air pollution, and you have to solve the issues, and you will be able to solve the issue by identifying the root cause. Okay, so again, you will be able to explain to your higher authorities that okay, these steps must have been taken to improve the air quality of our local area, or of our so that the government, so that we can follow the government orders, so that we can follow the rules and regulations. And again, there will be a permit to, which has been issued by the government to each and every industry. So that model must be, you have to check before modeling such type of the models for resolving the air quality issue. So what type of the instruments we have, we can use in assessing the air quality? We have certain sensors, we have the certain instruments in through which we can detect the air quality. So the first one is the nephelometers. These type of the instruments are used to monitor the particulate matter such as dust, smoke, mist, and the fumes. They can be used for monitoring the respirable fraction of the dust, and they are small enough to use for the personal exposure monitoring. So if the particulate, the percentage of the particulate matter is is sufficient so that a person can inhale that, so you have to be very careful, and you have to monitor it, and you have to give solutions so that how can we minimize the emission of the particulate matter. So for that purpose, this is a nephelometer through which you can monitor the quantity of the particulate matter. So the next one is the single gas monitor and the tubes. Single gas detectors are the monitoring the one gas in particular, and it could be carbon monoxide, ammonia, hydrogen cyanide, or sulfur dioxide, among the other gases. So as you can see, this is a single gas monitor, and in which the methane has been recorded, the data of the methane has been recorded. And again, you see that this detector and this monitor only gives the readings about only one gas. So that's why its name is single gas monitor. And we have the second one, which is multi-gas hand-handled monitors. So as the name represent, this type of the monitor used to detect the presence of the different harmful gases at a time. These type of the monitors are portable and very easy to use, and these type of the monitors has a fixed alarm. So whenever the high level of the target gases are detected, you you will have that alarm. So you get idea that okay, all right, the level of the emission goes up to certain permissible limit. So as you can see on the screen, that this multi-gas monitor gives you the reading of almost 4 gases at once. So you can you can collect the data of the four gases at once. So this is very time saving instruments as well. So again, we have the gas chromatographs. So the gas chromatographs are very sophisticated instrument which were used in the labs or which were used to the specific area. But now the portable gas chromatographs have been invented. So you can just take them to the field, or you can take that instrument to the surveys. So these are portable and very handy. So you can get the idea about the air pollution of the field or about that particular area. If you are going to collect some data, and if you are going to a field visit, so you must put the portable gas chromatograph into your bag so that you will gather the data on the spot. So these are the field portable gas chromatographs, mass spectrophotometers, and these are used to check the air quality during the field operation, to chemically analyze the substances suspected to be the narcotics, toxic industrial chemicals, other chemicals used in any war. So these type of the instruments can be used in detecting the air quality of the war zones, and to any industrial area. So whenever the environmental protection agency or such type of the institutes who visited these areas, they must took such type of instruments. So they get the data and they will report to the higher authorities that such type of factories is emitting a lot of the air pollution. So according to that, the government at that the local authority will take the actions. And again, next we have the air velocity and the indoor air quality meters. These are designed to measure the air quality. Okay, here is a question that what are the sources of the indoor pollution? So, anyone from the class who is able to answer the question? What are the indoor source of the air pollution?
We are using the air conditioning in our
Air
home.
condition, and again,
Yeah.
yeah, very
The
minute particles. Yeah, yes, please.
yes, then there is other this cooking kitchen where we are using. It's generating the mixing of those cooking oil and all. It's reducing the affecting the indoor air quality. You means indoor means house or something else
Inside the house.
inside the house?
Inside the house, yes.
Yes. Then yeah, the dust pollution is also affecting the indoor house. The one when we are using the AC and on when we will see the air filter, that time you will realize, that time you will observe the quality of the air inside the house. So the air, the our daily activity, uh, then this the cooking inside the kitchen,
Yeah,
and
exactly that.
using the air condition also,
Yes.
it's affecting the air quality inside the house. And what else you can say, the outside like a sandstorm, that is also affecting the air quality inside the house.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, the carpeted house is become the major cause of the indoor pollution. So
Yeah,
you
and
will not.
in modern this time, there is lots of chemical agent that we are using for cleaning our house, cleaning the utensil like oven, the one we are using. Then this what we call that the gas or whatever that one we are using, and we are using to clean, use the chemical agent to clean those. I forget the name. The one we are using like gas, not a gas stove. It's
Yes.
with the multiple, this burner. What we call? I need to ask my wife. I forgot the name.
Yeah, because we
That are
have to. Yeah. Yes,
another
please.
source of affecting the air quality. And sometime when we are going to the market to clean, bring the chemical agent to use inside our house to clean them, especially this floor and all. that is also affecting the air quality inside our house.
Absolutely. So actually, we have to took the individual measures. So we have to work at individual level. So for that, we have to took small steps. For instance, you have to change such type of carpets. You have to prefer such type of lifestyle so that you can avoid the you can avoid such practices that are becoming the cause of the air pollution. So again, it's affecting the health of your people, your family.
Yeah,
So we have to, not only the government will take the steps for cleaning the air quality, we have to take this some sort of steps, especially the barbecues parties is
yeah,
again a source of the air pollution.
yes,
So we have to avoid such practices. Okay, you can do it, but to not into your home. You can went to the very big ground or such type of the areas which have the open air. So at least your children are vulnerable to the air pollution, especially because their immune system is not so strong. So we have to be very careful about our next generations, because we are deteriorating the environment day by day. So what we are going to left for the next generations? So this is a question for us.
I agree.
Okay. So the next is air velocity and the indoor air quality meters. So such type of the instrument installed at any house. So if you are very conscious about the health of your own family, so you can install it. So these are designed to measure the air velocity, temperature, humidity, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and volatile organic carbons. So the calculations includes the airflow, heat flow, turbulence, wet bulb, and the dew point temperature. So this instrument has such type of the calculations on the screen, and the probes can be ordered at any time and included a data sheet with the certified traceability. So you can use that sensor at your home. So basically, a range of the environmental applications can benefit from such type of wireless connected gas detection systems, because in today's industrial grade wireless system they are providing a reliable safety measures through which we can monitor the air quality that keeps our worker, our family, and the other people safe. So I would say that these wirelessly enabled instruments, you can use it at your. You can use it because these are very handy and also detect the certain gases, and the data from this monitor can also be wirelessly transmitted to any center or to any laptops through any area. So you can transfer the data. So for instance, if you are on a field and you are gathering the data by using such type of sensors, wireless sensor, and such type of the detectors, so you can transfer the data to your headquarters by using such type of sensors. So basically this allows any organization to achieve the information for the compliance review, for the remediation of the air quality. So I have discussed the second topic, which are the how can we monitor the air quality and what type of the modeling we have to do for solving or for improving the air quality. Now I am going to move towards the third one. And the third one is how can we control the air pollution and what are the mitigation measures we can take for solving the air quality, for solving the air pollution, for improving the air quality. The air pollution control, basically following are the measures one should adopt to control the air pollution. Number one, avoiding using the vehicles. People can use the public means of transport. For instance, you can use train or bus rather than you are going for office or you are going to drop your children at school and you are using a single vehicle, your personal vehicle. So people should avoid using the vehicle for the shorter distance. You can walk for that, and rather than they should prefer the public mode of transport to travel from one place to another. So this not only prevent the pollution but also conserve energy, so that country will not face any energy crisis. For instance, in China, you can take the example of the China. They are using bicycles And different countries are using bicycles to avoid the air pollution and to conserve the energy. And second one is the energy conservation. So a large number of the fossil fuels are burning to generate the electricity. So therefore, do not forget to switch off the electrical appliances when not in use. And you can use the other mean of production of the electricity, like you can use the hydro projects, you can use the dams for production of the electricity, and you can use the solar and the wind energy instead of the fossil fuels, so that you will be able to generate clean electricity. You will be able to clean the environment. Thus, you can save the environment at the individual level, and you can use of the energy efficient devices such as the control pollution, which are devices control the pollution at a greater level. And again, we have the use of the clean energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energies. Basically, these are very effective to reduce the air pollution at a larger level. And the various countries, including India, these type of I'm going to mention the India because it is only the developing country which is doing something very good. Otherwise, the developed countries are basically become the major cause of the air pollution, because and China and the US is on the top of the list, who these type of the countries are responsible for creating the air pollution, as compared to those countries who are still developing, who are underdeveloping countries. So if I am talking about the Asian countries, so they are contributing very less to the global warming. The data has been reported at the international level that the China and the USA, these are the two major contributors to the air pollution of the entire globe. So again, the what measures we can do for that. Other air pollution control measures include that we can reduce the use of the fire and the fire products. And industrial emissions are one of the major causes of the air pollution. So the pollutant can be controlled and treated at the source itself to reduce its effects. For instance, if the reactions of the certain raw materials yields a pollutant, so then the raw material can be substituted with other less polluting material. And the third one is fuel substitution is another way of controlling the air pollution. And in many parts of the underdeveloping countries, like petrol, diesels are replaced by the compressed natural gas, and they are replaced such type of the vehicles. And again, they will not facing any crisis of the petroleum. So the petroleum industries, you know, like other developing countries, they are facing such type of the issues that's rising in the prices and the inflation. But adopting such type of the measures, again moving towards a good economy for any country. And these are mostly adopted by the vehicles that are not fully operating with ideal emission engines. So the traffic police is again can play a major role in controlling of the such type of the vehicles which are contributing to the air pollutions. The next one is there are many practices that focus on repairing the quality of the air, and most of them are either forgotten or not easily enforced. So there are still a lot of the vehicles on the road that have not been tested for the vehicle emissions. So the vehicle must have been tested for before that vehicle running on the roads. So for instance, if I took the example of the Ireland, so they will not issue such type of the license to any automobile before proper checking of that vehicle. So the license of the vehicle and the driving license for in Ireland is very difficult to achieve, because they have a very advanced system for checking the vehicles. And because I think I really like that the system. And again, another way of controlling the air pollution, which is caused by the industry, is can be modified and maintain the existing pieces of the equipment, and they can use the advanced form of the instruments, so that are they are free from such type of the emissions. And a very effective another way of controlling the air pollution is the dilution of the air pollutants. And the last one is the best way of reducing the effects of the air pollution is the tree plantation. Plants and the trees reduce a large number of the pollutants in the air. Ideally, planting the trees in the areas of the high pollution level will be extremely effective. You guys have heard that trees are known as the environmental buffers. So the environment clean and the buffed by such type of the plant species, because they consume the carbon dioxide for their food production and they release the oxygen. So the best strategy you can use at your home are the usage of the indoor plants. So all the participants, I am requesting to you that you people must, you have to must uh, use such type of indoor plants for the sake of your health, for the sake of your children's health. So I will request that on this weekend you will go out and select 2 to 3 types of indoor plants, and you can place at your home for, and you will not only get the clean air, you will also have a very aesthetic view for that, and it will enhance the quality of your life as well. I personally like the indoor plants very much. So I would advise that everyone must place cactus or such type of money plant at your home, so that you will get a very beautiful visualization at your home. So this is advice for my students. So the next is I am going to discuss these protocols. So basically, different type of technologies are used to reduce the air pollution, but such type of the agreements which have been occurred in the history. The first one is the Kyoto Protocol of the 1997, set as a major target the reduction of the greenhouse gases emission to below the 5% by the 2022. So that basically instrument, so that basically protocol which has been adopted to reduce the greenhouse gases in 1997. I have discussed that the London smoke incident 1952. So after that incident, people becomes very conscious about the air quality, and such type of the agreements comes in its shape. So the Kyoto Protocol is a major protocol, and its main goal is to reduce the greenhouse gases. And this protocol become very successful because it reduces the 5% of the greenhouse gases by 2021. This was followed, okay. Apart from that Kyoto Protocol, we have the Copenhagen Summit in 2009, and then the Durban Summit of the 2011, where it was decided to keep the same line of action, that they are decided to reduce the greenhouse gases. So the Kyoto Protocol and the subsequent ones were ratified by many countries. And guess which country is on the top of the list? Yeah, it's China. China is the fastest developing economy, and it's the first country which comes forward and embrace such type of the agreements. And it was once stated that their economy is very high, because again they have to be at the front line, because China and USA are the top contributors of the air pollutions. It is very necessary to take the steps to solve the air pollution. Again, another recent international agreement of the crucial importance for the climate change and the air pollution is the Paris Agreement of 2015, which was issued by the UNFCCC, which is basically United Nations Climate Change Committee. So the United Nations Climate Change Committee announced this agreement. And okay, what was that agreement? This latest agreement was ratified by the United Nations as well, so that the countries of the European Union as well. So this agreement embraced by the countries of the European Union. So in this way, such type of parties are committed, so that they can promote such type of actions They can promote the such type of the measures which can enhance the numerous aspects around the world, which basically helps in improving the air quality. And again, without any doubt, such type of technologies helps in improving the world environment or the air around the globe. So again, we have to develop such type of the measures at international level, at national level, and again at the individual level as well. So such type of sustainable development practices should be applied together with the information that comes from the research. So the result of such type of the research must be taken into consideration before adopting any strategy. So I think one of the students joined just a minute ago. And I think it's I don't know the person, but Arshad Iqbal has just joined us. So we have discussed the lecture so far. We have discussed the instruments. So I'm going to recap the lecture because you have to answer these questions which I have been formulated for you guys. So these are the questions. So before moving to these questions, which I'm going to ask from you people, I'm going to recap in a minute so that the latecomer will also get an idea that what we have learned. So I will recap in 1 minute. Okay. This is the air pollution, that air pollutants have been released into the environment. And second is the air pollutants comes from the factories, industries, automobiles, and these are the sources like natural resources, stationary resources, mobile resources, and the areas like agriculture resources like the spraying of the insecticides, pesticides, factories, and automobiles. These are the sources. So that these can be primary resources or the secondary resources, like the primary which can affect directly the air quality in the secondary, that the reaction of the two primary pollutants can result in the secondary pollution. So these are the four major air pollutants: nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. And according to the World Health Organization, there are total 6 air pollutants. So this is the whole summary. I will upload this lecture in the WhatsApp group, so you will read it. And again, the causes of the air pollution is the burning of the fossil fuel, automobiles, and agriculture activities, factories and industries, domestic resources, mining activities. These are the sources of the air pollution. And next, we have effects of the air pollution. And in effects of the air pollution, we have the diseases, especially the lungs diseases and the heart diseases, and the asthma, irritation, headache, and the damaging of the nervous system. And another effect is the global warming, acid rain, greenhouse gases effect, ozone layer depletion. These are the effects. And in modeling, I have said that you have to identify the problem, you have to identify the emission and the data which has been presented in any industry. You have to keep these things in mind before adopting any model. And from these 5 models, you can adopt anyone according to your needs, according to your objectives. And this is a model of a coal industry. So how can they devise a model for improving the air quality? So for the monitoring of the air quality, we have such type of the instruments like wireless gas detection, single gas monitors and tubes. That these are, they are giving the reading of such type of gases. And the multi-gas, that they have the multi-gases on the screen. So they will give you the data of the pollutants at once. You have the portable gas chromatographs, and you have the air quality and indoor the air quality meters, through which you can you can basically install these at home. So and at this point, I have advised to my each and every participant that please bring some sort of indoor plants for your own sake, like cactus plants or the money plants, such type of the plants you can use. And you can use a small cactus plants for your study table as well. So we can avoid using such type of vehicles. We can use a clean source of energy, We can use the energy conservation means to avoid the air pollution, and again we can minimize the using of the fires. So these are some sort of the air quality technologies, and these are the protocols which has been adopted and which has been committed internationally in the history, so that we can enhance and improve the air quality. And then now I'm going to conclude the lecture, but after conclusion that I'm going to ask these questions from you guys. So I'm going to conclude it. So basically, different type of the cooperation we have been needed for solving the air pollution, like individual level we have to cooperate, we have to cooperate at the international level and the national level as well. So international cooperation in terms of the research, development, administration policies, monitoring, and the politics. Basically the politicians must have to be very concerned about the environment. If the politician, because they are the decision makers, so again is a vital role in such type of resolving the air quality. The legislature, the policies, and the rules and regulations are basically formulated so that we can improve the air quality, and legislation always foster the air quality. And again, we have to adopt the sustainable practices so that we can save such air quality for the future generations. And that can be that type of the sustainable management will save our entire ecosystem. So I'm going to say thank you for today's lecture, and now I'm going to ask this question. So can anybody from the class answer me that what are the, okay, you can mention only one, but I would appreciate if you guys mention 4 to 5 causes of the air pollution. So anyone from the class?
Yeah, the main causes, as you mentioned before, it's coming from the nature. What we are using, like there is agriculture, we are using the chemical in the fertilizer, and there is a vehicle emission is created by the vehicles. Then fuel, oil, and natural gases, like we are using the factory, oil and gas industry. So these are the major, causes of creating the air pollution. And the greenhouse
Yeah,
is the one of the major, playing major role in affecting this our environment, especially this ozone layer, which is also increasing the effect of UV in our environment and affecting our health and the skin and all. Because when you will go outside, this is the now people very conscious. They are trying to observe the UV ray in the environment. It's all because of this air pollution that is, increasing the ozone layer.
excellent, Mr. Han. I really appreciate your response. And Rizando, can you please tell me any source of the air pollution? What are the gases which are contributing towards the acid rain? Are the latecomer one that Mr. Arshad, I think so. Can you please answer that what type of the gases are contributing towards the air acid rain? Or anyone from the class?
The measures, there's two chemical, or you can say the two gases, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen, when they mix with the water in the atmosphere, that is creating, the
Excellent. Yeah,
toxic or the acid rain.
exactly. The oxides of nitrogen and oxides of the sulfur. These
Yeah.
are the two type of the gases which are contributing towards the acid rain. And what are the effects of the air pollution? Can anybody mention about 2 to 3 effects of the air pollution?
It's affecting our, this internal organ. It's creating problem with especially with the kids like asthma and all. When
Yes,
you'll
the
go,
lung disease as well.
you check the analysis, then you will find lots of kids. They are facing this issue in this small age because of this air pollution. Then we have respiratory disease. It's not affecting long term, short term, but in long term, when it go time frame, it will show you the result of the air pollution. lungs cancer also, as you have mentioned, is the one of the reason of the air pollution.
Excellent. Okay. I have give a short homework to each and every participant that you must go on this weekend, and you can bring some small indoor plants. So you can adjust it on your study table, a small cactus or the money plant or any such type of indoor plants that will not only increase the quality of the indoor air, but also gives you a very aesthetic view that will you will feel really good whenever you see such type of plants at your home. So it will give you a very pleasant view. So because we have to take steps at the individual level whenever we want to solve any issues like environmental issues like air pollution, we have to solve it. You have to do such type of practices at individual level, and then the government will take the steps. And again, if you want to do anything at the industrial level, for that purpose, you have to evaluate the root cause of the air quality and the root cause of the air pollution and the root cause what are the main cause of deteriorating the air quality. You have to solve it, and you have to gather the environmental emission data, and you have to devise such type of the models like dilution of the air pollution, like the dispersion model, and you can present at your industry or at your workplace that we can adopt this particular model for improving the air quality. And these are the steps which we can take at the individual level or at the professional level as well. So if anybody have any question related to today's lecture, please come forward and ask if you people have any ambiguity. So I think there is no one who's going to ask any question. I would appreciate if you people ask questions, because whenever you ask the queries, automatically you will learn more. Okay. If the students and the participant is not able to answer that, you have assumed that you people got each and every concept very well. So I'll upload the lecture in the WhatsApp group shortly. So I'm going to end the lecture, and I really enjoyed the today's class. So have a nice day, everyone. Have a nice evening. Okay, take care.
Thank you,
Bye
ma'am.
bye. Bye
Bye bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.